I initially steered away from this team because it requires a limited unit and very specific gear, but a lot of people have asked me about it, so here's the two-man cheese team for Nilgal this week. First, you take Conqueror Lilius. Put her on the fastest gear you have. I actually slowed her down just a little bit to put her on a penetration boot, just for the sake of it. For an artifact, you want to use Indestructible Gators or Junkyard Dog. Next, you build Malim. You give her the best Rage Pen set that money can buy, and you stick the Hall of Trials artifact on her. Caladra will work just as well as the Hall of Trials artifact, whichever one gives you the highest bonus. Now the trick is right here. This first attack often throws a debuff. If it puts a debuff on Malim, restart the fight, because Nilgal's got this nasty passive where if you have a debuff on you, it reduces the damage that you do. So keep restarting till you don't have a debuff. Do Lilius's S3 for Vigor, and then do an S1, and you should push immediately into break phase. Do an S1 again, land a burn, and if you've done that, then you're good to move forward. Anything else, restart. Whenever you get a chance with Malim, drop her S3. It does almost 1,000,000 points in damage. Other than that, you just keep throwing these S1s around, and the dual attacks do all the work for you. We're already at S+, we've only done about 3 attacks. Before anybody asks in the comments, no, there really isn't a replacement for Malim, and there really isn't a replacement for Conqueror Lilius. These are the only 2 units that can do this cheese. You can try it with Spectre Tenebria, but without the Dragon Buster extra attack, and without Malim healing herself when she does S1 attacks, I doubt you will rack up the damage, even if you can possibly live into Phase 2. If you don't have Malim, I recommend you check out my other videos. So, now that you've cleared Stage 1 and we're already 60% of the way to the Dagger Sicar threshold, you need to drop Nilgal fast. When you use non-attack skills, Nilgal's ultimate ramps up. So just S1 with Lilius and just S1 with Malim, and try to push through this phase as quickly as possible. Getting burns out there is paramount. It's tough to keep Malim alive because Nilgal often puts unhealable on her, as he's done in this situation. But as you can see, we've already pushed right up against the break phase. That's a lot of poisons on Malim, so I'm going to actually S3 and then S2. The reason I'm going to S2 here is it'll put a barrier on Malim, and that will give her just enough artificial health that she'll survive those poison pops. Now I'll S1 to enter the break phase. Unfortunately, the timing's a little bit off. I don't have a burn for Malim's initial attack. I'll go ahead and drop the S1 because I don't want to waste a dragon, or don't want to waste her S3 without a burn. Now that I've got the burns applied, I can start moving forward with the big damage. Malim does have some debuffs on her, so she is doing a little bit less damage than she would clean, but it's really hard to bring her clean into this second break phase. Now that she's about to take an attack, this should remove all of the debuffs. I can do a clean S3 for the max damage. This will be close to 1,000,000 damage. Nice. And I can continue to do S1. We've already passed the Dagger Sicar threshold, and we're only halfway through this break phase, so we're going to get a really decent score out of this. As you can tell by Lilius's health, we're going to die as soon as this phase is over. I don't think it's possible to full clear this phase with this 2-man team, but this is a very respectable Dagger Sicar run. I suspect we're going to end right around 13 million. This attack should end the break phase. And Nilgal's going to attack and wipe my team. Looks like we'll maybe get one more hit off for a 13.4 million score. So, I hope this helps you clear your Dagger Sicar if you have these very specific units and very specific gear. If not, please check out my other video and remember to like and subscribe.